Namaste students, myself Sunil Kumar from the Department of Computer Science. Today we are going to our continue third session based on the chapter classes and object. And today's topic is access specifiers, arrays as members of the class, array of object, object as function arguments, and last topic is difference between structure and class. In the last session we discussed about functions defined inside the class and outside the class. If you are going to declare any functions inside the class definition, that is actually known as member functions. Member functions can be declared in or defined in two places. One is inside the class, one more outside the class. To define member function inside the class, a function declaration within a class is replaced by actual function definition inside the class. Means when you are going to write the function definition inside the class, there is no separate function declaration is not required. Whenever we are going to write the function declaration, at that time we are going to write the function definition, or it is replaced by the function definition. Next, outside the class definition, when you are going to write the function definition outside the class definition, inside the class definition we have to declare the functions, and later outside the class definition we have to define the functions. Example or general syntax here is return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name, argument list. So remember, here we have to use class name as the identity label, then scope resolution operator, then function name. So this is what we discussed in last session. So in this session we are mainly focusing on access specifiers. The access specifier defines the scope of the data. When you are going to declare any data inside, so inside the class we can declare data members and member functions. So access specifier will define the scope of the data. Every data member of a class is specified by three levels of access protections, or here there are three levels of access protections are there. That three levels of access protection we can specify for each data. That three levels of access specifiers are private, protected and public. We can use either private, protected or public. We will see in detail. First, in case of private access specifiers, private access means a member data can only be accessed by the member functions. Mainly whenever if you are going to declare any member as a private, that can be mainly accessed by the member functions. Members declared under the private are accessible only within the class and friend functions. So whenever if you are going to declare any member functions or member data as a private, that members have more security and can be accessed by friend functions and within the class, or member function can access the private data and within the class we can access, and same friend function can also access the private data. What friend function we are going to study in one more chapter, that we will discuss later. If no access specifier is mentioned, then by default members are private. Very important. If at all if you forgot to declare or define, or if you forgot to write private access specifier or public anything, by default compiler will take members as a private, or by default it is a private access specifiers. Here is an example. Class rectangle. We took the class as rectangle and I declared private access specifier, and inside that length and breadth and two functions input and output. Remember, if you are not mentioning any access specifiers, by default it is a private, but here I mentioned two data members and two functions. The functions also private, then data members also private. Next one is public access specifiers. Public access means that member can be accessed by any function outside the class also. If you declared any member function as a public or data member as a public, that members can be accessed by any functions, or outside the class also we can access the member functions. So here I declare, in this example I declared public area or function area is declared as public, and int LHA are 3 variables, and I didn't mention anything. So by default int LHA or data members are private and remaining things are public. So that public members can be accessed by outside, means inside the main we can access r dot area. Area is a function, public function, so that we can access, but it is not possible to access LHA in void main. So LHA can be accessed by the member function. So inside the member function we can access LHA or the variables, because that is a private. The next one is protected access specifiers. The members which are declared using the protected can be accessed only by the member functions. Remember, when you are going to declare any data as a protected, that can be accessed by member functions or friend functions, and also member functions derived from this class. Means you can see it's the same as private access specifier, because private, if you declare private, it can be accessed by the member functions and friend functions. But one more feature is there, class can also by the member functions derived from this class. From this class we can derive member functions, so that member function can access the protected data. Remember, the members cannot be accessed from outside. Outside functions cannot access the protected. It is similar to private access specifier. The difference we will discuss in further sessions, because this is related to one more chapter, inheritance. In that chapter we are going to study the protected access specifier. Just remember that private is the same as private access specifier, and the members can be accessed by member functions and friend functions, and also in derived classes. Next topic, arrays as members. It is also possible to use arrays as the members of a class type. Inside the class it is also possible to declare arrays. So here is an example, class marks. I declare a class as marks, and int m is a variable of 5, means array I declare, and one variable I, that is a private, and public I declare 2 functions, one is input and output. So input function extended outside, or I wrote the function definition outside. Here cout enter marks, I will enter the marks. So array, if you want to access the array, for loop is required. For I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So I use the for loop, I access the arrays. And same output I displayed by using the for loop. For I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus m of I. So this is about array as a member. It is also possible to declare the arrays inside the class. Next, array of objects. An array having a class type elements is known as array of object. Normally we can create arrays, int a of 5, int m of 5, that is a integer array. Like that we can create the class type arrays. It is also possible to declare class type array, that is known as array of object. An array of object is declared after a class definition and defined in the same way any other way. Means when you are going to declare any other arrays, the same method we can declare the array of object. So here the syntax, class name space object, and we can declare as an array with the size. Example is account ACC of 20. In last session I given as example as account is a class, ACC is the object. In that account ACC I declared as 20. ACC of 20 is object of array type. Here is a example for program class marks and int m1 and m2 two variables in input and output. Here you can see the in void main array is created, then that is accessed by using the functions. Object as function argument. Next topic is object as function arguments. A function can receive an object as a function argument. For a functions we can give argument as a objects. This is similar to any other data being sent as a function argument. Normally if you use any function data you will send int a or b, like that. Array is also possible to pass object to a function argument. An object can be passed to a function in two ways. There are two ways are possible to pass as a function argument. One is pass by value, one more is pass by reference, what we studied in last year. Pass by value and pass by reference. In pass by value method, copy of the object is passed to a function. We will pass a copy of the object and function create its own copy of the object and use it. You don't change the base data. Instead of that one, you will create a duplicate copy of the data and a duplicate object in that it uses. Therefore, changes made in the object inside the function do not affect the original object. Means it will create one more duplicate object. The data what is stored in original object will be remaining same. Here is the example for pass by value. Don't refer the textbook. In textbook wrong examples are given. Class exam is a one class is created and int m1 m2. There are two members. I use the two functions read and show. Read function is used to read the data. Show function is used to display the data. So m1 m2 in read function we taken and we display the same thing in show function m1 and m2. And you can see one more function total. Total is a function. It contains two arguments, exam e1 and e2. E1 is the object and e2 also object. So m1 is equal to e1 dot m1. In the e1 which m1 is there, that plus in e2 which data is there, that also added. So m2 e1 dot m2 plus e2 dot m2 we are going to add. And while going to call e3 dot read, first we are going to create e3 dot read. The next one is e4 dot read. E3 dot read means in E3 object you will store m1 and m2. E4 dot read means you will store the data m1 and m2 in E4. Then E5 dot total will pass two argument, or two argument is object. Two object we passed, and E5 dot show will display the data. So remember, I just see the example total function and total function call. So we passed two argument. That argument is object, and when we are going to receive we also used object. Next one is pass by reference method. When address of an object passed to the function, the function directly works on the original object used in the function call. So here it won't create the duplicate copies, won't create the copies of the object. Instead of that one, we are going to pass the address. We are not passing entire object, we will pass only the address of the object. So it will work on the original object used in the function call. The function is making changes to the original object itself. It is not going to create a duplicate copies. So data, whatever changes you made, that will be remaining in original object. This is more efficient since it requires only passing the address of object, because we won't pass entire data or what is there in the object. We are not going to pass. We will pass only the address of the object. Here is the example. The same example, but the small difference is here when you are going to pass the pass by reference, we have to pass the address. So in the place of receiving, I used as ampersand or and symbol. And symbol refers the address. That is only the difference between the pass by reference and pass by value program. But the main changes is, in case of pass by value, it will create the duplicate copies. But in case of pass by reference, we are going to pass the address of the object. And last topic here, difference between the structure and classes. Here structure is also user defined data type and classes also user defined data type. The main difference is struct keyword is used in case of structure and class keyword is used in case of class. When you are going to define class or declare class, we have to use class keyword. In case of structure, we have to use struct keyword. But in case of structure, all the members are public by default. By default, all the members are public. In case of structure, all the members are private by default in case of classes. In case of classes, all the members are private. In case of structure, cannot be inherited. It is not possible to inherit the data. That feature is not possible, is not there in case of structure, but is possible to inherit the data in case of classes. In case of structures, it contains only the data members. Only data members are there. That is known as structure elements. Contains only the data members or structure elements. But in case of classes, it contains data members as well as member function. Data members also there and also member functions also present in the classes. The next, no data hiding feature in case of structures, because by default everything is public, so you don't possible to hide the data inside the structure. But that is possible. It's possible to hide the data in case of classes. In the class is possible to hide the data by using the access specifiers. Either you can use private, public or protected. By using the private or protected, is possible to hide the data. So here we reach the end of our session. Today's session we discussed about access specifiers. There are three types of access specifiers: private, protected and public, and arrays as function arguments, object as function arguments, arrays as members of a class, then difference between the structures and classes. So today we will finish our session. Thank you.